What's up guys, Winnie here, and I'm about to show you world's greatest backsplash installation tutorial. I'll show you the type of tile we're using, the type of tools we're going to be using, the thin set we're going to be using, the type of trowel we're going to be using, where to start, where to end, and kind of what to do area like this behind us. So let's get into it. Alright, so first let's talk about the tile. The tile that we're going to be using here is actually a 2x8 porcelain subway tile. It's got this like vintagey glazed kind of texture to it. We got this tile from Architecture. It's really cool, kind of up and coming trend that we're noticing. If you guys are interested in getting samples for this type of tile or any other color, the link for Architecture is down. So here are the tools that you're going to need for this backsplash installation. We just have our little baby ruby tile saw. The spacers we're going to use here are going to be the 1/16 of an inch spacers, and these are plastic spacers, so they're not squishy, so the grout lines will stay nice and consistent. You definitely need to have spacers for this type of tile because it does not have any built-in spacers like some of the tile does. We're going to be using 3/8 inch U-notch trowel to us because we're not going to back butter this tile because it has tongue and groove situation going on in the back. I just want to make sure that the tile itself has nice bed. It means thickness of thin set that you set your tile into, and then this kind of will hold on to it. Also, you want to make sure you have your laser just so that once we have our center line, we know exactly where to go. And also this laser is allowing us to find the lowest point of this kind of, kitchen. So then you want to start out at the lowest point and then cut your to size as you're going up, but we're about to get into that. All right, so when starting out and you're trying to figure out where to start, you have to just logically think when you're going to walk in, what is the feature of this entire kitchen? For us, it's this situation right here. When we walked in, before we removed these shelves, there was like a coffee situation, coffee maker there was some other stuff over here. So these corners are not the feature of this kitchen. So I'm going to start out of the center. Make sure that this is nicely balanced and pretty. And then if I do have little sliver cuts that run into there, I'm okay with that because that's obviously not the feature of this kitchen. So once we're starting out of the center, here, our pattern is going to dive down behind the stove. Probably 2 rows will be enough kind of to there. So then once the stove gets pushed in, it looks like this tile just kind of waterfalls behind there. All right, one more thing I wanted to touch on. We do have floating shelves in this kitchen. So we took the floating shelves off so then we could tile as close as we can to the wood itself, but not necessarily having to have those perfect polished cuts. So now, because we know that our shelf has about 3/4 inch pieces of wood essentially that like wrap around this, so that gives us a lot of room for error. So then when we actually put the shelf in, it looks amazing. So if you have shelves in the way, make sure that you're taking them off and then reinstalling them instead of trying to tile around them, because it's going to be really sloppy. All right, so come over here. So I got 3 pieces of tile here. I'm going to put my spacers in there, so now I know exactly the dimension here. I'm going to measure this, and this is going to be 7/1/8 plus. So now off of my laser line, I can measure 7/1/8 plus down, make a mark on both sides, and then what I have is just a piece of trim, just like this, that's super straight. And I'm going to use hot glue, put a dab glue on the back of the trim, and then put it right over our marks. I don't want to nail or screw or anything in there because just looking at this, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on over there, and the worst thing you could do is puncture a gas line or a water line or anything like that. So hot glue is a better situation than things like this. So it helps a lot to have 2 lasers. Actually, we have 2 set up right here on a hard surface so they don't bounce around too much. But one is for the one grout line, and then the other one's for the other grout line. This way you know exactly where your 50% offset is, and you don't have to measure at all. All right, so we just made a massive discovery, and I'm so up about it. So check this out. Our next piece of tile goes here. We are just too low for this, but if I lower this by 1/4 of an inch, then this entire row of tile can just be placed in. So lucky. We're definitely going to do that. We're going to lower this by 1/4 of an inch. This way we don't have to notch out any of this tile. So I didn't realize this before, but our tile is just about a little bit thicker than the shelves themselves. So this job just got so much easier, and I don't know. Alright, so one of the reasons that this is the best construction channel in the world is that I do talk about pricing, at least in some respect. So this was 55 square feet project. I don't know what that means to you or anybody else. It means absolutely nothing to me, because if I was to quote this job, you will know how long it's going to take you to install that backsplash, plus or minus a couple hours, essentially. So for me, it was like, all right, this job would take me 3 days to do. I always aim to make at least $700 a day, because after paying all the expenses, after paying for Alex, after paying for all the insurances and gas and thin sets and everything like that, you know, I have the money that I want to make a day. For me, this was going to take 3 days, $700 a day. This would have been a $2,100 job, and that includes setting materials. It does not include the tile itself, because that can vary in price so much. So when you're walking into the room, you have to look at how many outlets are there. You have to see if are there obstacles that you're going to go around that you have to tile around, and then from there you go about bidding the job. Because if you just go by square footage, but there's 9 outlets that you have to cut around, or there's 10 different shelves that you have to go around, it's going to take you longer. So for any tile work that I do or anything like that, I always look at how many days I believe it's going to take me, and you always want to allow yourself a little bit of wiggle room. You guys can let me know how you feel about that down in the comments, and let's get back to our video. Alright, so it's the next day. Everything is set. We already took all the little spacers out. The best way to clean up grout is do it the next day. Check this out. If I have like a seam right here, like I want to clean up, just kind of write it on this side, write it on that side, bang, and you're done. You don't need any power tools or anything like that to do this. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use this grout, the Maypie grout that we got from Lowe's, to do obviously the seams, and then in these corners, kind of where your backsplash is touching the countertop, and in that inside corner, we're going to be using this grout caulking that's matching grout color to this. So when you're at the store, you can pick up your grout, make sure that you're picking up this. All right, now that you have grouted your backsplash, so these seams, the inside corner here and this seam right here is kind of very prone to cracking. So that's when you're going to put this grout caulking in here. And let me show you a cool way to actually finish that off. So first, make sure that you're filling this in all the way into there. It's not just on the surface, but it's actually filling in the grout joint. This way it doesn't crack. So this way, and we're going to go down. You see how I'm pointing the caulking gun into it? This way you're actually forcing in the caulking inside of that seam. So we have there, and then just going up here as well. Now, to actually finish this off, what you do is you need a popsicle stick like this. We have just water, so we have water in here and just a squish of dish soap on mist mode, and then you just spray this. And then the popsicle here, come in, Alex. Look how nicely the popsicle will finish this off. Bang. Look at that. That's a perfect finish. This way. So what the soap does is the soap basically allows for it to skate and not get stuck to the tiles next to it. And then look how clean it's coming out. Then if you do want to use your finger, kind of lick it a little bit and then clean that off. And that's it. It's easy as that. So we're going to do the rest of this, and then we're going to put the shelves back. Alright, so this is why when we were tiling, we took the shelves off and actually tiled around the framing itself, because we could then be a little sloppier with the tile work. And then once we put the shelf around that, you have a perfect kind of reveal there. Look how nice that looks with that around it. Alright, so the last thing to do here is they're going to upgrade the outlets just to make them look a little bit cleaner, and that's it. So I hope this tutorial helped you guys out. If it did, make sure that you subscribe down below and leave any comments you might have, because we're going to be doing more tutorials, and I want to make tutorials that you guys actually want to see. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one.